This changes everything for the Dallas Mavericks, as after last night's win against the Orlando Magic, which was absolutely crazy by the way, the Dallas Mavericks are further cementing themselves as the 10th seed in the West, and with only 8 games remaining on our schedule, it's very unlikely we will fall out of that spot, and which means we will be in the play-in tournament, which means we will have a shot to make the playoffs. And with the playoffs being a possibility for the Dallas Mavericks, we will need as many players as possible, as healthy as possible. And with the reports that just came out a few hours ago, it looks like Derrick Lively as well as Daniel Gafford are trending upwards in their return to play. So in this video, we're going to take a look at all the information surrounding Derrick Lively, Daniel Gafford. Should we even try to make a push for the playoffs, or should the tank continue? But how's it going, everybody? My name is Marcel Martin. This is Mavs Digest, bringing you the latest news on everything Mavericks related. And before we get started with today's video, we are currently sitting at 20,054 subscribers. I just want to say thank you guys to everybody that supported this channel over the last year and some change that I started it. But if you want to be up to date on everything Mavericks related, with our live streams, our watch-alongs, our news vids, giveaways, everything else in between, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on a single thing that we do. But the Dallas Mavericks have been dealing with injuries. That's a part of life now. It's not really news. It's just how things are for the Dallas Mavericks, where even last night's game against Orlando Magic, Kai Jones went down early in the first quarter with a pretty nasty injury. He went up for an alley-oop that he did complete, but he had a very bad fall, and the current update is he has a hip contusion, and he will be questionable for the upcoming game. But the other players that are injured, like Derrick Lively, Daniel Gafford, they've been out for some time, but the Dallas Mavericks have been holding on pretty strong in the absence of many of our players, where players like Kessler Edwards or even Brandon Williams, Kai Jones also, before he got injured, have all been stepping up big time for the Mavericks. We have won solely because of our two-way guys. Even last night's game, where Jaden Hardy had an amazing game, Brandon Williams was also balling out as well. A lot of these guys do know what it means when they say next man up mentality. When your number's called, you are expected to perform, and the guys have been doing that. But if we take a look right here, the reports have been made that Dereck Lively II with his ankle is listed as doubtful for Saturday, as well as Daniel Gafford in his knee is listed as doubtful for Saturday as well, which is huge for the Dallas Mavericks. Now, obviously, they're probably not going to play tomorrow. They are doubtful. It's a good chance that they could. But with this upcoming schedule, we only have about 8 games left in the season. We may give it a game or two before we really bring them back. We do play again on Monday, so maybe they'll play then. But this is looking good for the Dallas Mavericks. Like I said, after last night's win against the Orlando Magic, we are further cementing ourselves in the Western Conference in that 10th seed, which means we will be in the play-in, which means we may actually make the playoffs. And if we were to go to playoffs right now today, we don't have a single shot. I know that we will only be able to make it as the 8th seed, which means we will have to play the Thunder in the first round. A lot of Mavericks fans out there, I've seen it all online and in my comment section, a lot of people believe that if we see the Thunder in the first round, it's an easy dub. I personally feel like we need everybody available to really have a shot. I know PJ plays very well against Oklahoma. I know we have Anthony Davis, who is slowly but surely starting to come back to form. His last 2 games haven't really been nothing that really stood out to you, but still good games regardless. The Dallas Mavericks do have a very deep team. We have talented players. Skill issue was never a problem for us. We never had a skill issue. We had a health issue. But if we were to have to go up against Oklahoma City Thunder in the first round of the playoffs, we will need as many players back as possible, and that is why Daniel Gafford, as well as Derrick Lively being listed as doubtful, is good news for the Mavericks. That means they're trending in the right direction. They will most likely play before the end of the season, and that is good for the team. As we have been hearing from the organization time and time again, they are trying to win. They're trying to stay competitive. They don't want to tank, although a lot of fans want to tank. A lot of fans want to get that coveted lottery pick, hopefully Cooper Flagg, maybe Jeremiah Fears, who's also playing very well. So I understand that a lot of fans are conflicted. They'd much rather have AD, Gafford, Lively sit out the rest of the season, only 8 games left, go into the offseason, get healthy, and try again next year. Well, I know there are other Mavericks fans who have a lot of faith in this team that want to see him battle it out every single night. The last 2 games, if I'm being honest, have been pretty good to watch. The guys are fighting. They're not giving up. They're not going out there trying to lose. They're going out there trying to win. If we can get either one or both of Derrick Lively and Daniel Gafford, that will only give us better odds to at least put up a fight. Maybe not make it all the way to the finals, as we are even if guys do come back, we are still dealing with a lot of injuries, as Dante Exum most likely will not return. Omax is not going to return. There are also other players like Kessler Edwards as well as Brandon Williams who maybe won't be available for the playoffs. I know on April 10th and April 12th, we'll be able to give our two-ways guys an actual contract. Who knows who gets it, who doesn't. But with the injuries, with their two-way guys not being able to play any more games after the Chicago game, it's going to be pretty tough to even put up a real fight in the playoffs if we don't have options, and if the options that we do have, like AD, Gafford, and Lively, are still working their way up to 100%. And for those that aren't too sure, in the play-in tournament, after you win and you have gotten either the 7th or the 8th seed, that very next day is game 1 of the playoffs. They don't give you a time to rest. You play, you win the tournament, the next day, round 1 starts. So if we're dealing with any minor injuries, if we still have guys like AD, Gafford, Lively that are working their way back to being 100%, it'll be very, very tough because there is going to be no break. There's going to be no time to rest. We're going to be playing these games back to back to back. We finish the season. We go into play-in tournament, boom, playoffs. But if we take a look right here, like I said, we only have 8 games left. We play the Bulls on Saturday. We play the Nets on Monday, the Hawks Wednesday, Clippers on Friday, then the Clippers again, the Lakers, the Raptors. Then we finish off the season against the Memphis Grizzlies. And honestly, it's hard to tell what games we win on what games are scheduled losses with this Dallas Mavericks team. Last night against Orlando Magic, I think a lot of people thought we were going to lose. Somehow, some way, things looked good for us. Jaden Hardy decided the party must go on, and he was really the highlight of that night, as well as Brandon Williams, as well as Anthony Davis. The whole entire team really came together. So who knows which games we win, which games we lose, but I do know that the Phoenix Suns do have one of the hardest schedules remaining for the season, so it's hard to tell if they're going to really knock us out, as we are only a half game behind a half game behind the 9th seed, but also only a half game ahead of the 11th seed. It is very tight. Every win and loss matters if you want to see us go into the playoffs, but every win and loss matters if you want to see us go into the lottery. And just looking right here, Kai Jones is a player that we definitely want to talk about, who has definitely stepped up for the Dallas Mavericks in the absence of Derrick Lively and Daniel Gafford, who looks like somebody that definitely needs to be a Dallas Maverick. If we look at his last several games, he had 18 points, 10 points, 13 points, 9 points. He only played 7 minutes in last night's game before he left with his injury, so he had 4 points, but he never really misses a shot. I want to say he's about 88% from the floor while playing for Dallas. He's averaging many rebounds, 11 rebounds, 7, 9, 8, 5. Kai Jones, again, one of our two-way guys that we just picked up, has been automatic instant impact for the Dallas Mavericks, and he is someone that we have to keep going forward. If Derrick Lively or Daniel Gafford aren't 100% ready for the playoffs, Kai Jones, if his current injury isn't too serious, may need to step up and play those minutes in lieu of Gafford or Lively, or maybe even AD if AD isn't feeling it. Kai Jones is someone who I think we definitely need to give a contract to. We need to keep him on this team if we're going to try and make a run in the playoffs, or even just going forward in the future for next season. If we have Gafford, Lively, and Jones as our center rotation, Dwight Powell, you are the new Markieff Morris. You're chilling at the end of the bench and you're only called in whenever things are just looking that bad. So shout out to Kai Jones. He's been playing amazing for the Dallas Mavericks. He's been just high-flying dunks, getting rebounds, smart shots to the point where he is very, very efficient, is something that we definitely need to hold on to. And he's young, only 24 years old, which fits the timeline of our other young players. But the last thing I want to show you guys is this right here. Like I was telling you guys before, we're only a half game behind the Kings, who are in 9th, and we're only a half game ahead of the Phoenix Suns, who are in 11th. We only have 8 games left. Things could change. We could end up the 11th seed. We missed the play-in altogether. Or if things start to really go our way, we could finish as the 9th seed and still fight for that 8th seed spot in the playoffs. But who knows? This Dallas Mavericks team has been surprising people every single game, every single day, where, oh, wow, we beat a team we probably should have lost to another player got hurt, as players are getting hurt every single game and guys are coming back every single game. It's really hard to tell. They're very unpredictable. But one thing is for certain. If we make the play-in and we make the playoffs, we will need as many players back as possible that are healthy, and that is why Daniel Gafford and Derrick Lively being probable is a very big deal for this team. But let me know in the comment section down below, are you still Team Tank, or do you want to see this team give it their all in the postseason and just live with the results and come back better next year? Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. We can have a conversation about it. But that's all I got for you guys today. Thanks for making this far to the video. Make sure to check out our Twitter and Discord. Links in the description below. Consider becoming a channel member. We are doing a giveaway every single month on this channel. Only way to enter our giveaways is to become a channel member of any tier. But till next time, y'all take care, drink water. Peace.